Good evening, guys. It's Darren from Jace Media, and tonight this is my first interview of the year. Been a bit slow off the mark, and tonight I'm joined by Willie and Matt from Willie and the Bandits. How are we, boys?
Great, mate. Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. So, what's that? Are you just doing some rehearsing tonight? Are you just trying to get yourself in the groove for hitting the road?
Yeah, I suppose we're not rehearsing tonight. We're just chilling tonight, listening to some music and having a chill. Tomorrow the rehearsals start, and yeah, it's just getting back into the groove of it, man, and and just running through like certain things like harmonies, arrangements, and getting the set right, and and then working towards the tour, which starts in March.
Yes, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. You'll obviously know that when I did the review of the album, I know when you get a lot of guys who go, "This is a 9 out of 10" or "It's an 8 out of 10." I don't believe in labeling you guys like that. Go, "Oh, this is a 9.5," because the thing is, for the next album, I'll be like, "Right, lads, I need a 10." And you go, "Yeah, you had 10 tracks and 8 of them were shit. So what up to the 10 out of 10?" So what I said to my boss and what I said to Peter is that for me it's a contender for, in my opinion, for album of the year.
Oh, great, man!
Oh, man, that's really kind, and yeah.
It's just it's one of those albums you kind of hear it and you think, Jesus, it's got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of blues, it's got a bit of funk, it's got a bit of soul, it's got a bit of jazz, it's got rock in there, and you're taking on a journey when as soon as the Broken Words just comes right at you, you think, wow, it's just you got an incredible album. And I listened to it twice, and I said to my boss, this is like, for me, contender for album of the year. It's just an incredible piece of music.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Great to hear, and it's nice to know because every track made it on that album. Like often you record an album and you might go away and do 15, 18 songs, but those are the songs we had, and they were all, in my opinion, quite strong songs. It was great working on them, and helping writing and arranging, and
it was great. I mean, like it was sort of like, I'm really pleased that like you picked up on the whole different influences and stuff, because there is a lot of different influences, isn't there?
Yeah, that
moves around a lot.
It seems to be, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just condensed but it's not like one song well, there's clear ones where one's a bit more funky than others. But I think there's some songs that cover quite a few genres within, and a few times as well.
You get a lot of like kind of there's wee bits of reggae influence like floating through a lot of stuff, and then you get into the blues, and then the rock comes in, and you think, wow, it's just it's just smacking you from all sides, and it's a fantastic piece of music. Let me tell you, boys. I think that when you take it on the road, I think everybody will be blown away. And I always say to bands and artists that reviewers and interviewers like myself are very privileged that we get to hear the music before anyone else does. And we can I walk about with a smile on my face, because what I immediately do, I immediately download it onto my phone. So when I'm starting about, I just, if I'm out for a walk, I'm going to put on a bit of Willie and the Bandits or whatever, and I think, wow, and you get a smile on your face, and I don't know how that was for you guys making it.
Oh yeah, we're definitely smiling. I mean that we had like a lot of ideas. There was a few of them that were sort of, you brought some fully formed ideas, and then we added stuff and changed stuff. Then there's others that we collaborated on, and had little sections, and we worked on it in Preston actually during the lockdown, at the end of the first lockdown, and we sort of walked away with I think it was like 8 or 9 tracks, and then I came down to Cornwall, and we worked on a few more, and and we kind of like passed ideas to each other, and then it really formed. Like we started getting yeah, this is an album.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think that's the kind of, that I think that you know when you've made it, when you kind of collaborate together, and then you put your 8 or 9 tracks, and there's maybe a couple more you want to add, and then you think that this is an album, and there's no disagreements. It's like, yeah, I think we've made it, and I think this is going to be the banger of an album that we wanted to be, and I think that's a good thing for you guys that you've came together, and lockdown's been incredibly difficult for everyone, and I, especially musicians, and I think up until the end of last year, between November the 10th and December the 11th, I managed to squeeze in 22 gigs in 16 days. I went everywhere, everybody was ringing and going, do you want to come to this gig? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, and what I do, you may see a lot of my posts from Jace Media. I'm always out and I've got pictures with bands, and everybody's, all my mates are commenting, do you not have a TV? And I'm like, TV's overrated, music's the thing. And I just love going out to live music. I love putting my spin on a gig. I love getting to chat. And for me, this is the best part of my job, sitting talking to musicians who have done their craft, and then we get to hear it and we go, wow, you've done an absolute killer of an album. So this is a real, real good thing for me. So I appreciate your time. I know it's late and stuff like that, but I appreciate your time. So are you itching to get out on the road?
Yeah, man, can't wait. I mean, making the record's fantastic, isn't it? It's brilliant, brilliant process. But you're always looking, for us, we are predominantly a live act, who tour. So the album's fantastic, but it's basically like the live show's on another level,
Yeah.
All those songs are on a turbocharged live, and you really feel it and hear it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
We really want to tour it,
It's. I love working on the pre-production for touring, the pre-show stuff, because obviously you can't play the album. Not every single note you hear on every song is there. It's 4 people recreating that, and I think we've managed to sort of stay true to the album, and there's certain sections. Sometimes we've added a few bits, we've made a few changes so it correlates, the track list, and but also working on the classics from before I joined. I love a lot of the 1970 Bad News. We've been playing them a lot recently.
I guess
Angel as well. I can't wait to play Angel again. So
I guess though, Matt, for you, it's the kind of the newbie in the band and stuff. I think that when you've put your stamp on this album as well, and I guess getting out, you're in the studio and you're tinkering, you're getting stuff done. But I guess getting out on the road, and like you said, and what I say to people is that I want to be as though I'm in the front row, just standing there on my own, watching you guys do your thing and thinking, yeah, do you know what? I reviewed that and it was fucking awesome. And that's what I always say to people, and I know that you've seen the review, haven't you? You've seen my review?
Yeah, I have, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
So for me, it's like, I engross myself in it, and then I get the headphones on and it's like on full blast, and I'm like, wow. And I'm singing away and my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, listen, you need to listen to this album, and I'll play some tracks. And she's like, wow, who's that? I'm like, that's Wille and the Bandits. And my wife's like, who the fuck's Wille and the Bandits? Right? I'm like, yeah, these are real cracking little blues bands. And she's like, wow. And she kind of gets into it and she thinks, she sometimes says to me, I don't know how you can listen to kind of music all day long. And I'm like, but it's just so soothing, when you get a different genre, a different band. Today, I was doing some death metal, and I'm thinking, I'm never going to get those brain cells back, Get the death metal to the side, a bit of blues and a bit of rock. And the good thing for us as reviewers, as I say, I must get about 40, 50 pieces of music every week. And you just pluck out ones and you think, I want to listen to that.
Yeah.
Mr. Peter will go, I've got this album, you want to listen to it? And I listened to your album and I thought, I bet that'd be brilliant live, So it was a real privilege for me to review it, and obviously on my notes as well, I have my notes and it's like standout track, awesome track, killer, because obviously when I'm there sort of doing it, I pick out my favourites, and stuff that I think, and I've got my standout track, Solid Ground.
Yeah, a lot of people love that
Right.
one.
Whoever wrote that, give yourself a pat on the back, and whoever didn't, get rid of them, because obviously, just get rid of them. They don't know what they're talking about. But you've got, and I love Will We Ever. It's just an incredible piece of music, and I guess when your fans come and see it and they hear it for the first time, I bet they'll be blown away.
Yeah, I'd say, man. Yeah.
Cheers. It's really nice it's refreshing to because obviously we've put a lot of time and passion into making it, and it's so refreshing to hear genuine, passion, man. Cheers.
Yeah, listen, Matt. Listen, I don't come on. What I always say, I don't come on and blow smoke up people's backsides and go, this is the, I've been into music for, my God, 37 years. I've been doing this, and one way or another. I used to be a bodyguard. I've managed bands. I've travelled the world. I've been everywhere, and this is a real passion. Listening to music and chatting to guys. And for me, it's about giving something back. I could come on and go, yeah, you've got 11 tracks, and 6 were great and 5 were all right, and you guys go, all right, okay, we'll need to try better next time. You know what I mean? And what I will always say is that the album is just a corker of an album, and whether I think there's 9 brilliant tracks and 2 okay tracks, I would never say that. You guys have spent months in the studio, getting the craft right. And for me, Big Dan from Glasgow going, yeah, the album was shit. And you guys go, oh, okay, cheers for that, mate. And you go off and think, what can we do better? It's not about that. It's about me, coming on and telling you guys, this is a fucking corker of an album. The fans are going to go fucking nuts when they hear it, and like I say, I'm so privileged that I get to hear it before anyone else, so well done on that.
Glasgow gig, the Rum Shack. You coming to that one?
Well, only if you invite me, Wille. I don't like to just think I'm going to just rock up and go, it's all right, I'm a pal of Willie's. If you invite me, then I will come.
You're doing us a lot, by helping promote our album, man. Of course, we'll put you on the list, mate.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there, and I'll buy some merch. The thing for me is that we get albums and everything free. So when I go to a gig, I always buy a bit of merch, because I believe it's it's good to put stuff back. You guys are happy to put reviewers and togs on the list, but I guess it's about putting stuff back. You've invited me along, and I'm just going to go, I wonder what I can get free. That's not what it's all about. It's about putting money back in you guys' pocket to make the next album, to be able to tour. Good news, obviously, for Scotland today, that from the 24th of January, they're opening up live venues again, so everybody in his dub can tour, and come and sit in the pub and just watch guys rocking out. It's been pretty tough. I mean, how did you guys fare in lockdown? Was it hard? Is it, different parts of the, all in the same part of the country, in different parts of the country?
We're kind of spread about. Like I was up in Preston. Well, I'd actually moved to Plymouth for a couple of months when I joined the band, and we just got ready to go on the road, and we managed to play the Netherlands. We did a tour of Spain. We managed to do Belgium and France. And then unfortunately it was a case of sort of waiting for the rescheduled dates, and we were all sort of waiting in anticipation, and they would be cancelled, and then it would be the next dates, and lo and behold, half a year passed, and we just decided that when the restrictions eased a bit, and because I've got a studio, I've got a small project studio in Preston, because of the, we were actually allowed to, because it was work, and we took advantage of that. But I think we've all. I mean, I know you have, Will. You've really missed the road and missed the shows and the fans and stuff. And it's
I mean,
it's difficult, hasn't it?
It's tough. I mean, I sort of like knew I missed it a lot, and then we played Little Orchard because the social distance shows were weird, and then there was the first festival, and there was everyone jumping around singing. I had tears in my eyes, man. Literally, I didn't realize how much I missed. I knew I missed it, but I didn't realize how much I missed it till I was actually doing it.
Yeah,
and it's not about. For me, it wasn't about the playing of the music. It was watching the reaction of the people and the amount of joy they were getting from what we were doing on stage. And I think that's what I missed. I missed that connection with the audience and making them really happy, I think, and making a difference to people, you know, and bringing, you know, I think that's what you miss when you're not touring. It's great people, you know, listening to the album, but you can't see that reaction really, you know.
No, you're absolutely right. I guess it's a mutual thing though, Willie, that you know that you're playing for the fans, but the fans have missed you guys, your faces, the sound, touring for 22, 23 months. And I guess there's a mutual thing. You've got tears in your eyes. People just wanna come and support you, you know, and you and the boys, and they wanna, you know, buy your records because I think, you know, music is just like, it's peace for the soul. You know, I've been into music for forever, you know. Saw my first gig in 1978, way back in the day, you know, long-haired streak of piss, going to the famous Glasgow Apollo, which was a music venue that every man and his dog had played to. And I saw AC/DC there in 1978.
That Bon Scott then, was it?
Yeah, Bon Scott. And then obviously 78, and then they were making Back in Black, and then he went and killed himself. Fucking crazy Scottish nugget that he is. And you know, and the Apollo. If you ever get a chance for someone to tell you about it, the stage was about 15 foot high. It was enormous. It was like you came out with a fucking sore neck because you were looking up all the time, right? And it was just, the place was falling to bits. It had sticky carpet. All the seats were all torn. But do you know what? It was one of the greatest venues in the world. Everybody's played there. You know, I was there when Kiss played and they set the curtains on fire because they you know, when he was breathing this fire out, they fire retarded all the curtains. And Gene was up playing his bass, and he turned around and set the curtains on fire because he took out the first 5 rows of the hall because it was so fucking hot, and you know, stuff like that. I was there when Manowar blew the windows out because they were at 110,000 decibels or something like that. You know, so I've witnessed a whole load of crazy shit, but you know, live music is just insane, you know, and I can't wait to see you guys when you come to the Rum Shack and grab a beer and, you know, talk some more.
Man.
You know,
that, mate.
I always look playing Glasgow.
Glasgow's fucking great, man.
Scottish audiences are really good. There's a difference between which country you play in, obviously, and I don't want to be disrespectful at all to the country I was born in or anything. You know, it's given me, incubated my musicality, but man, the Scottish crowds are up for it. Glasgow, every time,
especially,
it's just like that. The call and response, like, like to sing Glasgow.
And then they also love the banter, man. They love like heckling. I love a good heckle in Glasgow. It's always funny heckling. It's never like you're shit or something. It's always like funny stuff.
It makes a gig though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always good.
You know, Matt, you can dish your country all you want, mate. You can dish your country all you want. Scotland's fucking brilliant. We just love, you know, see the thing about Scottish people, they love a good night out, they love a couple of beers, and they love to listen to good music. And if you've got that in abundance, you'll be welcome back. And I think what you're saying, Willie, is right. If, you know, it is a bit of friendly banter, you know, fucking sing louder or play harder, and you're like, fuck, I'm doing the best I can, you know, and like, come on, fucking go for it. And that, I think that's what it is. It's because I think they've missed you guys, they've missed the music, and they just want you to really kick the shit out of whatever you're playing, because they get so enthusiastic, you know, about it.
I always find always whenever I play Glasgow, like being, you know, in Cornwall, I always say, where can I get a fucking good pasty in Glasgow? And there's always like a good, funny, witty response. Like, you know, it's like every time. Like,
yeah, I kind of think what I always say to people, probably Scottish people are the funniest people on the planet, because we just make up shit out of anything, and people find it funny, you know. So I guess when you guys come, you know, and I think because of your crazy mad Scottish accent, it probably sounds funnier when someone's shouting, "Hey, you fucking idiot," and you go, "Oh, you're that fucking guy in the front," because it's just, they just want to go, we want you to have a great time, we want you to really enjoy yourself, and we want you to leave the rum shack going, fuck, I want to come back next week, you know, because these guys were mental. And I think that's what it's all about, you know. They just they want to show you appreciation, you know.
Get into the spirit of the time as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, you know. And I think when you go, they'll always remember the show, you know. So sometimes people go, yeah, it was all right, or you know, but when you leave, people go, fuck, they were brilliant. I can't wait for them to come back. Or
you always you always have a good, like, I always find that in you know, different places are different, aren't they? But like, always find we play up in Glasgow, everyone hangs around, has a beer and has a chat with you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like that sort of vibe.
They want to get a picture with you. You want to get a chat, because I think they want to tell you how good you were, or indeed how bad you were. And they'll probably tell you that and all. But I think that's what they just want, a connection, you know, with the band. They want to make you feel welcome when you come to Glasgow. And I know there's been a lot of like social distancing and stuff and what have you. A lot of gigs I've been to, they go, you know, can get a picture with you, you know, because I like to get pictures for the website, you know, and go, I'm hanging out with these two nuggets tonight, and people go, oh, that's him out again, the big man, you know, and people are going, oh, social distancing, if you stand there, I'll go to the back, and I'm like, no, it just doesn't work, you know. It just, you want to get a hug, you know. And my wife and I were through in Edinburgh about 6 months ago. We were away for a wee few days away, and we went to Bannerman's, and there was a band called Bannerman's is mental. There was a band called the Mercury Riots, right, who were the first band to come to Britain since COVID, right? So the boys had said, do you want to come down to the show? And I said to my wife, do you want to go? She's like, yeah, all right, you know, we're away in Edinburgh. Interviewed the boys, we had a bit of a laugh. The doors opened and there was 17 people at it. And they're like, we don't give a shit, we're just going to go. So the three of them went up, they rocked out for an hour and a half, they came off, and they were like dripping with sweat, and they're like hugging my wife and all that. Thanks for coming. She's like, yeah, all right, mate, you know, take it easy, buddy. But they were just so enthused about being in Britain to play a show, you know. And we had,
are they from the States, were they?
Sorry, yeah, from Los Angeles. Used to be, I think they're part of a band called Bullets and Octane.
Right.
Way back in the day, you know, probably a 4-year time. Well, you're just probably a lad, you know what I mean? You're not like me, you're not like an old fucker like me. You know, and they came together, and there's only a 3-piece, and they just killed the place. And they said to me, fantastic to be here. They only played 6 dates. They played Sheffield, they played Bannerman's, they played Manchester, they played London, and they played the Waterloo bar in Blackpool, and then they flew back home, and they said it was just worth it. It was just worth the experience, you know. So I think that just shows the level that people want to get to come to a show, you know, to experience, like you said, the social distancing is never the same. You know, people sitting at a table, tapping their feet up, hitting the table, going, "This is really good," you know. And you guys are up there like sweating like fucking, you know, donkeys in saunas, you know, giving it. This is brilliant. But I think people just want to be down the front. They want to be pressed against the barrier, looking into your eyes, going, "You better play better than you ever played. You better fucking stop talking shit, and you better get on it." And that's what they want. They just want you guys to come out and enjoy yourself, I think, as much as we're going to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
that it's incredible. So what's the plans? Just rehearsing and getting the melodies right, and then final run through, and then hitting the road in March.
Yeah, well, we've got a few dates this weekend coming up. We've got a little warm-up show just up the road, and then we've got a show in Somerset, and then the Giants of Rock on Sunday. So
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
you're looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah. We're playing before Nazareth, so
wow,
yeah,
excellent.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
rocking, eh?
That be you just can't beat it, and it'll be good to get back on the road.
Yeah, that's it. It'd just be good to be in the van again, having a giggle,
Yeah, I guess. Are you guys are full-time musicians?
Yeah.
Right. So you're kind of you're sitting at home with the wife, the kids, giving it fuck. I don't want to be here. I want to be out on the road, and then you kind of finally get to do it. And I guess that's a bit of a buzz for you guys as well. Packing your gear, checking all the stuff, and going, let's book the hotel. Get her a drink in, and let's go and do it.
Yeah. Exactly,
man.
There's certainly it's a ritual that's been missed, definitely.
Yeah.
Preparing for the road, and this next 3 days is like a date of gigs. Sorry, is it's going to be great because it's consecutive.
Yeah.
You like to do 3 or 4 and then give it a couple of days to let your voice rest, and then but like 3 days with the boys, and we've got a caravan at Butlins as well, so
that'd be fun.
Be interesting.
Excellent. Yes. Yeah, yours will be the party caravan, rocking about. Absolutely. And then hitting Glasgow with a vengeance.
We'll be right into it by the time we get up there, man. Yeah.
Your voice will be warmed up, and you'll be like, when I walk into this place, I'm just gonna go fucking get on it and don't stop until we're happy. So I can't wait. I can't wait, boys. Listen, it's been great chatting to you, boys. I don't want to hold up your time. I know you've got stuff to do, but it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. We probably could have spent more time chatting about the album, but I think I've enthused about it enough. I think it's had about on Jace Media. I think it's had about 2,000 hits, something like that.
Great.
Amazing,
Us as a PR, media, platform, I reach about 180,000 people every month.
Wow.
People want to listen to what I've got to say. They must be off their nut. Who's this mad Scottish guy? What shite is he talking now? But I kind of guess I give a real insight into the album. Like you said, well, you pick up in the genres that that flow.
I really liked your interview. I really like your review, man, where you actually, it felt like you sort of really got it and listened to it and understood it. But it's not always like that. Some reviews are like, it's really nice if you like this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like, well, you haven't explained what sort of stuff it is, man. It's like,
and you're like, delete him from the list. And he's out. Don't like him anymore.
I always find the bigger magazines sometimes the worst, man. Yeah, but your Uncuts and your Mojo, some of those reviews are just like, I kind of guess really what it is for me is that I'm a real music fan, and I get into it, and I could say, the guys, they fired out 11 tracks, and I felt this and felt that, but that's unfair of me, so I get into it because with this job you've got to be fair, because you could go, all I like is heavy metal, all I like is jazz, all I like is blues, and they gave me this album, and you know what, it was all right, and you go, fucking brilliant. But I immersed myself in the album. I listened to all the, all the different styles of music in it, and I give you my view, like I said, as if I'm standing in the front thinking, I've heard this album for the first time, and you know what? It's got this in it, it's got that in it, and people go, "Fuck, you really listened to that?" Because you could, like you said, you could go, "Yeah, this was all right, that was all right. I didn't like this, didn't like that." And people go, "It's not a very good review." So for me, it's about giving back, for you guys pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and me telling you how fucking awesome this album is. And so that when people come to the show, they'll go, "There's that mad Scottish guy
who gave this an album of the year handle. Do you know? So you guys can't forget that. So whenever you go, you see me at the show, just give me a shout out and go, the big man, and I'll be like, yeah, that's me, lads. You know, I'll take a cut of your money. I'll take a cut of your money, and we'll call it quits.
Nice, man.
Brilliant. Listen, absolute pleasure talking to you, boys.
Yeah,
I really
Great one,
appreciate your
Aaron,
time.
man. Lovely to chat to you, bro.
Yeah,
See you in
and-
Glasgow, man.
Yeah, we'll catch up in Glasgow. We'll get a beer. We'll talk some shit, and I'll tell everybody to leave you alone. I'll be like, listen, leave the boys alone. You know, don't give them a down tonight. It's all right.
Be kind to
Yeah, I'll be like kind to the southern softies. You know, just leave them alone. You know.
Yeah. Go easy on them.
Yeah,
It's
take it easy, boys. You know. So.
I'll
I'll get this rendered tonight. It'll probably be up in a couple of days. I'll give you a shout and I'll get it posted to you, and then it'll go to your socials, go to your fan page. It'll go to Peter and he'll share it out, and we'll share it out, and then we'll obviously see you on the road in March.
Yeah,
Man, sweet,
Brilliant.
absolutely.
This is Darren from Jace Media with Willie and Matt from Wille and the Bandits, talking all things when the world stood still, getting the beers in Glasgow, not getting pasted when they come up, and looking forward to catching up with the boys when they come to Glasgow. Take it easy, boys.
Thank you very much.
Darren.
Keep rocking in the
Cheers, guys.
world.
Cheers,
Take
bro.
it easy, boys.
See you later, man.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.